Okay, again, I don't know what order these are releasing in, but this is another Empire versus Tzeentch game. Calamity taking almost the same build with some slight variations versus Sipa's Tzeentch instead of Superb Fairy Run Tzeentch. And this is a very different Tzeentch. 2 Doom Knights, Kairos instead of a bunch of blue horrors and stuff. And Kairos is back, baby. After getting regrowth taken away from him, he was unbanned in most tournaments. I believe in all tournaments, but yeah. And Tzeentch going for a Mass Vanguard, so really quickly here, we have Doom Knights of Tzeentch, Centaurs of Tzeentch, Zongors, Shrieking Skyrays, and then Kairos in the woods with Barona's Time Warp and Harmonic Convergence as the 2 spells he brought, plus his Gaze of Fate net. On the other side, for the Empire, we have 3 Great Swords, some Spearmen, some Halberdiers, a Luminarch of Hysh firing into the trees. The trees block the shots. Silver Bullets, 2 Free Company Militia, and the Demigryph Knights with Halberds, who get caught by the Centaurs of Tzeentch and already taking supreme damage. And speaking of supreme, we have Balthasar Gelt with Final Transmutation. Alright, Silver Bullets trying to turn and fire at the Doom Knights before the Doom Knights really get in here. Templeoff Luminarch gets a shot onto Kairos, but Kairos has an impressive amount of resists, I think. No, just physical resist, actually. Wow, okay. So he didn't take that much damage. Free Company Militia and the Silver Bullets getting immediately dunked on by these Doom Knights, and Centaurs also get into the formation. The Mass Vanguard put these guys on the back foot. Kairos takes another Luminarch shot, but it's doing, like, good damage, but not, like, insane damage. The insane damage from the Luminarch is if you're a model that it can hit 2 or 3 times like a Chariot. It's not usually that incredible versus single entities. It's just, like, strong. It's fine. Big Final Transmutation, Overcast onto Kairos while he doesn't have any barriers, and the Templeoff Luminarch is trying to fall back behind some Spearmen to get to safety. Silver Bullets and Free Company Militia trying to defend themselves against the Doom Knights and stuff, but Tzeentch is thoroughly into the cookie jar at this point. 1 Free Company Militia is already shattered. The other ones are under duress. Templeoff Luminarch pokes Kairos yet again as a Gaze of Fate nets the Demigryph Knights with Halberds in this fight and lowers their melee attack down to 0 as they get killed off. Tzeentch is slightly ahead on the balance power, and I do agree. The Empire has a lot of state troops left. Their Templeoff Luminarch is still shooting at Kairos. Gelt's running around. Barona's Time Warp is out, helping the Doom Knights and Centaurs a little bit in this fight. Halberdiers are having the time of their life, however, fighting all of this cavalry. And Kairos is under threat by Gelt. He can probably beat Gelt in a straight-up fight, but not if Gelt has Final Transmutation up, and not if the Templeoff Luminarch has anything to say about it at any point. Still, the Empire is having issues keeping any other ranged alive. Only the Free Company Militia are here, and as I say that, they rout. So all of the Empire's range besides the Templeoff Luminarch is routing right now. Their state troops are in mixed company of disarray, but, you know, they're better off than Tzeentch's frontline is right now. There's also a lot more of them, is mostly what I mean by that. Centaurs have taken a lot of damage. Doom Knights have taken a lot of damage. Kairos has taken a lot of damage, but is it enough? As the Templeoff Luminarch is rolling around doing its very best. 700 value so far. Gelt and the boys still holding. Now, Gelt's trying to hit Kairos, but he can't do it. You can see that Kairos has full barriers up in the sky, so Gelt's just here in case Kairos ever stops moving. Another Barona's Time Warp is out. Shrieking Skyrays and Doom Knights trying to use it, but the Doom Knights get netted by the Templeoff Luminarch. That throws guard mode on, is just going to shoot at Kairos. Can't manage to actually finish the shot before the Shrieking Skyrays are back on it. Gelt continues to be annoying. Templeoff Luminarch is going to rout soon. The Empire's a bunch of stuff getting chased off by Centaurs of Tzeentch. The balance of power is coming back towards the middle as Centaurs charge in. That'll be the end of the Templeoff Luminarch. We will not get another crazy game of that thing getting 2,000 value. Doom Knights of Tzeentch are going to rout off, however. And Kairos is still being pursued around by Gelt. We'll see if Gelt ever has another Final Transmutation for that big demon. Empire still have a lot of great swords, a lot of spearmen, a lot of halberds. Not a lot of agency, just infantry. Do have a Demigryph Knight with halberd unit that is rallied, but they will rout in the face of the beastmen. The cowards that they are, apparently. Gaze of Fate is on to Gelt, who looks like he might be trying to land now. No, he's just moving while netted because reasons. Nets work perfectly, guys. No issues. Centaurs of Tzeentch charge back into Spearmen. Gelt is going to land in his millions of Empire followers, who are still pretty healthy. Never mind, he's back in the sky. Should land, but he won't. Another Final Transmutation on Kairos, whose barriers are a little depleted already, so they won't protect him that much from this spell. It is Overcast, as Gelt really tries to tax Kairos down to nothing. Shrieking Skyrays and Doom Knights fighting Empire State troops. Ooh, that's going to be a good sandwich. They might just break. Kairos is down to 2,000 HP. Which, again, if you don't know that about Tzeentch, their barriers scale with their HP. So his barriers, even if he gets full berries, is going to be less effective than when he was at full health. Doom Knights get a bit of cycle charging in, then run away. The Shrieking Skyrays, if they can survive a long time in this game, their Lamprey's Bite will be very, very nice at clearing out all these state troops. Though some of their models are still down, these Spearmen. We'll see if they actually get attacked or not. Gelt is a little isolated. Kairos is going after him. Gelt previously wanted the fight, now wants nothing to do with it, and he is going to land as the Shrieking Skyrays try and chase him down. Doom Knights and Shrieking Skyrays still have a couple models in these Greatswords and Spearmen, taking a little bit of damage here and there, and more Halberdiers catch them on a charge. The Shrieking Skyrays could actually be in a bit of trouble. Going to try to opt out now. And they mostly aren't being punished for that. Oof, that's a very healthy Greatsword to be out in the middle of nowhere. Kairos is going to rear charge them while Centaur's frontal charge. Trying to rout these guys, but they're so healthy. They aren't going anywhere just yet. And more Centaurs charging in on Greatswords here and there. Balance of power is tipping into Tzeentch's favor slightly as Volan's Staff is cast for 240% power recharge just to get up another Overcast and Final Transmutation for Kairos. And this might be a big moment. I wouldn't hate for Gelt to rear charge Kairos right now and then throw that Final Trans down that I know he probably has. Like, the game's gone for 6 minutes, he's popping Volan's Staff, and he's only cast 2 Final Transmutations. He probably has it again. In comes a Verona's Time Warp. But Kairos cast it on himself, and he immediately takes away from his forces. He's trying to cycle charge back in. Cycle charging has been good. He's about to terror out the Greatswords, but I wonder, Gelt really needs to cast Final Trans right now. There's so much stuff on top of each other. I guess he doesn't have it, though, because there's no shot he doesn't cast it there if he had it. I'm shocked he doesn't have it yet. Empire State troops all still milling about, doing what they can, but they did lose a Greatsword in all that time. Other Spearmen and Greatswords are also getting picked off, so the Empire really needs to coalesce their forces and get together, because Tzeentch is just picking off anybody that's not part of the main roster right now. Like, if you're not with Gelt and the boys, you're getting killed for free. Terror route into natural route, terror route into natural route for the Spearmen. That is a big loss for Tzeentch. Is now the Empire, at least all the forces they happen to have left, are also together. So, there's that, but they didn't have to lose this many state troops. They're pretty down in the balance of power. Gelt still does not seem to have a Final Transmutation up that he can throw on Kairos and the Doom Knights and all these Zongors. So that sucks a little bit. As more Centaurs charge in. And Zongors are out. Tzeentch's going to chase off those other targets. I'm going to fast forward for a second. As the Empire just reforms line, Lamprey's Bite goes through these guys, and Gelt's trying to get a free attack onto Kairos. Damage those barriers, and dude, I know you have another Final Transmutation there. You're not done. There's no way you've used all your Final Transes. Gelt, baby. There we go. He takes the barriers off of Kairos with a shot, but doesn't throw a Final Trans on him. Maybe at this point he has it, and he's waiting for a blob to happen. So maybe when blobs were happening, maybe he didn't have it, and now that blobs aren't happening, maybe he has it. Kairos dives into Halberdiers, though. He's going to try and path through them, but Gelt is, again, on his ass, trying to get a good shot on him here. There, he gets a hit, takes 200 HP off. Meanwhile, the Spearmen are going to hold back the Doom Knights and the Centaurs. Kairos took some damage, lost his barriers. Gelt's still not pulling the trigger on that Final Trans, if he has it, which he might not, but, like, where the fuck did it go then? I know how many you can cast with your normal amount of Winds of Magic. Kairos rear charges some Halberdiers. Takes another charge from Gelt. Gelt misses the first attack, and there's the Final Trans at last. Gelt gets a big hit on him, plus the Final Trans. And it is Overcast as it catches the Centaurs of Tzeentch. The other Centaurs of Tzeentch are also charging in at this time. Kairos is going to die, and that'll really hurt Tzeentch in this game. Gaze of Fate is out just before Kairos goes down. And we are going to lose the Doom Knights soon. Another Lamprey's Bite goes through these guys. And the Greatswords and Halberdiers are fighting back against Zongors. The Shrieking Skyrays get out of here, but they're down to -52 leadership. All the way back up to 5? How the fuck does that happen? Whatever, dude. If you ever wonder why Skaven are a bad faction right now and you see leadership spikes like that, you can't go negative 50 on Skaven and come back from it. Negative 50 is a death sentence. We are losing some Halberdiers. They are starting to rout. Doom Knights are holding on for now. Shrieking Skyries also managed to hold on for now. And there is still a rather healthy Zongor. Still have barriers. Still have 6,000 HP. That is about it for Tzeentch, though. Everything else is toast besides that Zongor. Doom Knights still clinging to life. Shrieking Skyries also clinging to life as they jump into the backline here. Taking some decent damage. Does that get them to Demonic Inspired Crumble or not? As they pull out, they're down to 6. And the Great Swords, the last hope of Balthazar Gelt and the lads. Centaur's charging in is pretty brutal. This was another final transmutation in the back pocket, like an undercasted one or something. This is probably over on the side of the Empire. Thankfully for them, there's no terror so that the Great Swords route off or anything. Shrieking Skyrays finally decide that Demonic Disability is the thing that they want to do. There will be no more Lamprey's bites to hurt the poor forces of the Empire. The Zongors that were once so healthy are now very, very injured. The Halberdiers go down to -1 leadership, rally back up to 2, and they hold the line as the Greatswords are chewing through Zongors like nobody's business. 1,500 value on this one Greatsword. Gelt is chilling as the Zongors, if either of them routes, it'll take the other one with it due to the nearby allies routing debuff. More Halberdiers and Spearmen are coming back. They brace against the Centaurs who charge them. Now the Centaurs do have barriers that they exploit and get away. Zongor routes. Does it take another Zongor with it? No, that one managed to rally some HP out of... not HP. Leadership out of nowhere. Centaur's charging back and forth. Still trying to get these Empire troops to break. Big charge in. Takes out the Halberdiers. And the Halberdiers take the Greatswords with them. 1 leadership holding for now. And Gelt hasn't cast another cast of Final Transmutation in long enough that I'm guessing he just is out of Winds of Magic entirely. There go the Greatswords. Halberdiers on the far side also gonna go, and it is now just Gelt and some Spearmen versus some very damaged Zongors and Centaurs. Some other Zongors have rallied. Bounce Power is getting back towards Tzeentch a little bit here as the Bounce Power vastly overestimates how much Gelt can do without any spells. It's like he's an expensive lord with some HP, but then the Centaurs look at him for a second and he fucking dies, because of course he does. He's gonna break any second now. And then that'll be GG in the favor of Tzeentch. Bounce Power swings wildly into Tzeentch's favor as it realizes Gelt is no match for Centaurs. And he fucking dies. GG, well played, lads. For Sipa, Kairos did okay supporting things. Not a lot of value for himself. Doom Knights and Centaurs of Tzeentch got a ton of value chasing stuff off. Shrieking Skyries did the same, and Zongors just held forever for Calamity. Gelt did fine. The Temple of Luminarch struggled a bit versus Kairos. Didn't do too much damage to that type of model. Greatswords did amazing. Halberdiers did pretty darn well. Spearmen also did pretty darn well. And the range units were all shut down immediately. GG.
Subscribe, yes.